Welcome back, everyone, to Pucks and Brews. I am your host, Michael Shade Sparacino, alongside Liam, the GOAT. The GOAT. You just told me this, and I'm already screwing it up.
Liam Go Time Gottimer.
Liam, it's always the simple things you don't remember, but it's the complicated things you remember, and your friends go, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
You tried, Shades. That it's the effort that counts.
Yeah, I just wish my brain was braining today, but apparently not. So,
It happens. Grateful to
so
be back.
Yeah, so we missed an entire round of the playoffs because our schedules suck, as they have all season. Just haven't linked up. But I didn't even tweet out our predictions or anything. Spoiler alert, we did not get everything right.
It's not.
No.
We still have the predictions though, right? Do you have them? I think they're in
I'm
our
just going to scroll up in the group chat, but I had Carolina, Philly, Montreal. Yes, I did have Montreal. And Brain, don't do this to me.
I'm going back in the group chat so we can get the
And the
actual
Sabres. So I did get all four right in the Eastern Conference.
Shades. You went Philly in six, and Philly did indeed win in six. You went Carolina in five. They swept. A
Yep.
little bit too much faith in Ottawa. You went Montreal in six. Good pick.
They won in seven.
Sabres in six, they won in six. And I guess we'll just keep it to the East right now. For me, I went with Philly in five, they won in six. Carolina in seven.
You gave Ottawa way too much credit.
Yeah, Ottawa, I thought, good roster, and they finally made the playoffs. Didn't do much once they got there. Montreal in six, we were on with that one. I had the Sabres in four. Boston put up a good fight, but yeah, the East was a lot of fun, and I think me and you, we came away pretty clean with our records, I'd say. You know,
What the hell did Brendan say? Brendan was 3 out of 4. He had Buffalo in seven. He got Montreal right. He said Montreal in seven. He also had Carolina in five, same as me, but he picked the Penguins in seven instead of the Flyers.
right?
Oh, by the way, cheers. Pucks and brews. I remembered to get this Liam's invisible drink. Oh, speaking of this yeah, I'm not trying to get copyrighted. We're not getting paid for this. Not a paid sponsorship. No product placement bullshit. Please
None
don't
of that.
take this down. So the Dunkin' by me is doing renovations. I thought they were closed, like just out of nowhere permanently. So I like got scared shitless yesterday walking by it. Then I said, or then I looked, they had the thing in the window doing renovations. I was like, oh, thank God. So now I have to walk to go to Dunkin'. And the Dunkin' I went to today, if you make a modification with your drink, they charge you 50 cents. Wasn't happening at the Dunkin' by me. So instead of going to that Dunkin' location like I did today, because it was more convenient, I'm going to the other one that's closer to the house in relation to that one because they did not do that the other day. So
Good thing it's not a paid sponsorship because we'd be pissing off the sponsor.
true. I'm just voicing my displeasure, because I can. All right. Now, oh, by the way, every I gotta stop doing that. Everyone, grab a drink of choice if you haven't already. Get back, listen to some hockey talk, and just have fun
Do
because
it.
it is Tuesday and the draft lottery is tonight at the time of we're recording. We still haven't decided what exactly we're gonna do with that, but stay tuned because we will do something. Now let's move on to the Western Conference, see how right slash wrong we were. I actually got Colorado right. I said Colorado in four. I have I can just do this. Focus, you jackass. I did have Colorado in four. I stupidly picked Dallas in seven. Boy, I gotta cut my nails. Holy shit. I had Utah in six because I was calling an upset, and then as you see, I had Ducks in seven, and literally in parentheses calling an upset. I got one right of that
Yeah, I think I got one right too. I think I did pick Colorado to win the series. Um I took Colorado in five, they won in four. I took Minnesota in seven. Minnesota did take the series.
in six.
Utah just didn't have enough playoff experience. Vegas, they've been here before, they know what to do in those big moments. So I got that one wrong, and yeah, well, Anaheim, big upset series win. I had Edmonton with the sweep, so.
Now let's see. On to Brendan. I was the only one who picked the Ducks out of the three of us. He had Oilers in six. Uh, he also had Dallas in seven, same as me. He also had Avs in four, same as me. And he picked Vegas to win in six, which they did. So Brendan ended up going one wrong, two wrong, three wrong. He went five out of eight. You went six out of eight, and I went six out of eight also. Not bad. I mean, that's better than I usually do. So remember the one year we got seven wrong?
I do.
That was uh that was a good time.
Try to
Best
forget
first
that.
round. Man, Columbus swept Tampa. Just that was just a great first two rounds, and then we just had an utterly shit conference final and final that year, unfortunately. But that was the way the cookie crumbled that year. So just some to move on. Uh I didn't really make predictions. We didn't really do this in the group chat. As you could tell, I'm a little rusty because it's been a while, just in terms of talking and flowing. But I had Colorado going all the way, so I'm just going to stick with them. Uh, I think Carolina, if this isn't their best shot to make a final, I don't know what will be. Uh, I think I had Sabres before the series, if I remember correctly. And as soon as Vegas spoiled my calling an upset, I think I'm just going to stick with them. So I guess I got those four teams. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to mostly stick with what I had thought before the playoffs had begun. We'll start. I mean, Carolina, Philadelphia. I mean, you put that correctly. There are shades. If there's ever going to be a year for Carolina to get over the hump in the Eastern Conference, and I'll go even a step further and say win the Stanley Cup. It's this one. So it's do or die time for Rod Brind'Amour and the Carolina Hurricanes. Time to step up. They have a 2-0 lead over Philly. I think they'll win that series in the conference final. They'll be taking on a team that is young and inexperienced, whether that's Buffalo or Montreal. So it's time for the Hurricanes. No excuses now. Buffalo and Montreal, I mean, fun series, man. I mean, I'm really happy for the Habs. I mean, they had 9 shots on goal in game seven against Tampa on the road and still won the game. If that's not an indication of what hockey is all about, then I don't know what is. I have Buffalo taking that series. I think they're going to go to the conference final, and I think they're a juggernaut that a lot of fans around the league with, or who root for teams that are no longer in the playoff hunt. Buffalo is a team that a lot of fans are getting behind. Vegas and Anaheim. Anaheim, great run. Did they get robbed in game one due to a non-icing call? You could say that. But Vegas battle tested. They're going to the conference final. Minnesota, that's where I think we could see some mid-series adjustments and maybe see a little bit of an upset. 9-6 final, 15 combined goals in game one.
Goddamn.
That tells me that both teams have some adjusting to make. So even though Colorado won, they held serve on home ice. I think Minnesota comes back, wins that series. And man, if you have Minnesota, Vegas, Carolina, and Buffalo as your final four teams, sit back, grab your popcorn and your soda slash your beer if you're of age, and just enjoy the greatest sport on earth because the final eight that we have now are all great teams, but the final four that I predict are coming would lead to some just outstanding hockey.
Just for the record, I legitimately forgot to put a bracket in on the NHL's bracket challenge. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. So, but I did before the playoffs send one of my buddies a text and I said, part of me low key wants a Buffalo Minnesota final. And he straight up responded with, "You're disabled." So
Uh, yeah.
you got to admit though, that would be a pretty exciting series.
I'm telling you, Minnesota's been disrespected for a while now. I mean, this is a pretty good deep team, and I know they got Quinn Hughes in the middle of the year, and that makes a drastic difference to the way that your
Oh yeah.
roster is. But for me, the Wild are the team that you want to circle because Anaheim, I just don't feel has that experience. Vegas, I just feel like they're a step behind where they were the last few years, and Colorado, I mean, they're a juggernaut, but when you're the best, everybody's coming for you. And we'll see how they're able to handle the pressure. But I couldn't agree with you more. If we get Buffalo and Minnesota, man, I'll be watching that as a Ranger fan, pretty satisfied with how the NHL season and postseason culminated.
Yeah, and that would especially those two teams, we would look at yet another cup final where a quote unquote not elite goalie would be the backstop to a Stanley Cup team.
You know, I think it might be time to stop calling Philip Gustafson a not elite goalie. Think it's time. I think it's time to give this man his flowers, in my opinion. I've loved Gustafson for a while, and in this playoff run, what does he put up this run? I want to make sure I get this right and that this is accurate. Well, during the regular season, he was outstanding. Um, just a really good goaltender. Wallstead too, who I'm sure has the net right now, but I do see the premise of what you're saying. Buffalo, same thing. They're definitely a little inexperienced in that. Even Colorado too, right? They're throwing Mackenzie Blackwood out there, who was kind of left out to dry in New Jersey only as far as a couple of years ago. You look at Dostal in Anaheim, young. You look at Vegas. Vegas has been able to stabilize their goaltending position despite not necessarily having a number one. How about Freddie Anderson, who finally kept himself healthy and he's elite again over in Carolina? How about Dobish over in Montreal, with Montembeault. So it's a pretty interesting storyline to bring up, Shades, just the goaltenders that are left here in the playoffs because they are not elite, but I would argue that some of them should be.
Yeah, I mean, well, go back to the 2022 Stanley Cup where Colorado won. They had Darcy Kemper, who was really
Yep.
going into that season, really, nothing
Nothing
special.
special. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, had he had the good run that he had,
Yep.
Colorado just had a beast of a team that year,
Yep.
and he was the backstop to that Stanley Cup team. And then Vegas, friggin' Aiden Hill came out of literally nowhere.
Right.
Look where that got them. That got them to a Stanley Cup. And then, well, obviously, the last 2 years with the Panthers, they had Bobrovsky. Excuse me, Bobrovsky. And then this year, it's like, could we start to see the changing of the guard with the, not yet big name goalies backstopping their way to cups?
And look at the goaltenders that went out in round one, Shades. You know, Jake Ottinger
Yep.
in Dallas out in 6 games. You know, I know Edmonton with Jari,
Uh,
that was a little bit of a story. I got you. Shelov's over in Pittsburgh, Allmark, who's pretty good over
oh, Allmark was fantastic. The Senators were just garbage.
Vasilevsky out in round one, Swayman out in round one, and then you have all of these kind of underdog netminders who are advancing. So, and on top of that, Shade, just to continue that conversation, but to separate from the goaltenders just for a moment. Our 9-6 playoff games, like we saw in game one between Colorado and Minnesota, is that going to become a little bit more of the norm? as, the league becomes more skilled and maybe there's less of an emphasis on needing, a goaltender and to keep the puck out of your net because, these teams are so skilled that they're able to do so at will. So who knows? Maybe the guard is changing a little bit.
It'd be nice to see. I mean, gotta change after a while at some point. I mean, not every team can have, three cups in 6 years like Chicago or back to back like Florida. So
Right.
honestly, even if you go back a couple years before that, Holpe, the year the Capitals won the cup, he had a miserable regular season. And
His
then,
career didn't continue after he won the cup. He was pretty much done.
yeah, pretty literally, he revived himself for 2 months and then said, "Peace, I'm out."
Went to Dallas for a bit and then he was done. Yeah.
Go back to Pittsburgh. Matt Murray.
Mhm.
After those two cups, he was pretty much nothing more than a backup goaltender almost immediately.
I'm not calling Jordan Bennington a backup, but Bennington too, who's been a little bit
He is such a weird case.
very odd case. Very odd. But on top of that, look at the goaltenders that are home right now who didn't even make the playoffs. Who's the best goaltender in the league? A lot of people would say Connor Hellebuck or Igor Shesterkin or Ilya Sorokin. All three are at home, you know. So
Bobrovsky's home too, back-to-back cup champ.
Bobrovsky's at home, you'll get some other underachieving teams that didn't make the postseason. So I think it's maybe a discussion for a later date, but I definitely think that it's something to take note of, without a doubt.
Okay, now we need to talk about this because I was just internally laughing like a maniac when this news actually broke. The Leafs, who were rumored to be hiring John Chayka as their general manager, actually did hire John Chayka as their general manager, and they also brought in Mata Sundin, which we all joked about was to lessen the blowback and the PR hit, but the Leafs just did a thing where I I'm at a loss. If I was a Leafs fan, I would just jump to another team for a couple years.
It seems like the Leafs over the last decade now, you could say, are just throwing everything at the wall in terms of their upper management and general manager positions and just hoping that it sticks. And nothing has stuck, Shades. Everything is slipping badly
Yeah.
in Toronto. John Chayka, of course, had a controversial exit from the Coyotes the last time he, was a part of the National Hockey League. And while he has completed all of the um, reparations that he's had to make to the league, and while technically speaking, he is welcomed back in this sort of capacity, I just don't see how the Leafs foresee this as a positive move to improve their franchise. I think, and again, I'm always a fan of second chances, but you kind of gotta put your foot down and, have an established bottom line as to what you're gonna accept. And I would say that almost every other NHL team wouldn't think about bringing John Chayka into their organization, never mind a high profile role. And we found the one team that would have, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they are concerned with the on ice product and getting it back to Maple Leaf standard. But it all matters. I'll tell you, as somebody who has worked in professional hockey organizations before, it doesn't matter, if the guy you have on your team has the most points in the league or if you have the best power play percentage. It all matters from top to bottom. And if you're disconnected in any way, you are not going to succeed on the ice. So I wish the Maple Leafs a lot of success, but that was a questionable call. But you give Chika, another chance to kind of turn his reputation around. The Leafs are giving him that golden opportunity. Now, if he does what he did over in Arizona, then you got a major problem. But you know, obviously the Leafs are confident in Chika's ability to repair his reputation and build a winning hockey club in a market like Toronto that has been starved for just that for far too long.
I just don't see how there's confidence there when you just take an overlook at his tenure in Arizona. I mean, like you said, there was controversy. There was the Jacob Chikrin situation where they did something behind the scenes with like what was it, like t workout testing him or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was draft oriented, and they lost a couple of picks because of it, and they just were not operating in good faith.
And outside of him, he really had nothing to show for his time there. Like he literally nothing. I mean, it'd be one thing if there was some promise there, but what do they see?
I think that again, I see a desperate organization. I see an organization that needs something to work, and they foresee Chayka as the answer. And you can't say that Toronto hasn't tried everything. I mean, they brought in everybody. And at what point, do you just kind of go balls to the wall and make what many would view as an outlandish decision? So the organization really is at a do or die point. They're always going to have their supporters. They're in the biggest hockey market in the world in Toronto, Ontario. But you know, at what point does enough become enough? And I think, if we don't see success post Chayka and post this move, there's going to be some real pressure on the Maple Leafs organization, by their fans, by the local media, by their supporters, to right this ship. And this move doesn't tell me that the ship is righted. This tells me that the ship is heading in the same direction it was heading the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, look, they did have some really bad matchup luck in the playoffs. I mean, 3 straight years you go up against Boston and who made the cup final and then the two Tampa Cup teams. So there's
I'll
nothing
put
really
this,
you could do about that.
let me put this into perspective. If you swapped out the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round, Boston's winning in six. So
Probably.
for me, I don't care how good Boston is. There's an internal issue with the Maple Leafs, and it goes further than the opponent for
You
me.
got that right.
But it hasn't been easy, like you said. But I think that there's a lot of things top to bottom that need to be addressed with the
Yeah.
organization. They'll get there, I hope.
I don't think they will. I'm going to make that prediction now, but we've been wrong before and we'll probably be wrong again, knowing my luck. So the last thing we really need to talk about before I'm going to throw something at you on the spot in a couple minutes. You'll see. Nothing nothing too bad. But the Rangers did end up making some changes within the organization. I don't know if this is a going to be a good or bad thing, but we shall see. They did fire head of player development, Jed Ortmeyer. I really hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And they promoted Tanner Glass to that position. I am skeptical, but I feel like this was a needed change because you and I both know the track record of Rangers draft picks the last several years has not been the greatest. I just don't know if the person they're putting in charge now, aka Tanner Glass, like we just said, is the right person for the job. So, what do you think?
Yeah, Shades, I think that the player development department for the Rangers over the last s- 4, 5, 10 years has been
I like
not
that
one.
skipping numbers right there.
Yeah, not one of their brightest spots, and that's nothing against Jed specifically. I think that's just perhaps an organizational philosophy that's just not working with how young players receive information, criticism, and ways to get better. So I think making a change in that department is a good thing. Tanner Glass, obviously spent the last few years of his career with the Rangers and was a good Ranger.
Well,
like,
besides that one really bad year.
yeah, everybody had a tough year that year. Yeah, but I think somebody who is established within the organization knows the department. He worked under Jed, for a few years there before Jed's eventual departure slash firing. So I think it makes sense for me personally, Shades, as a fan of the team. I think with how bad it's been over the last few years and with how many coaches we've had to cycle through, I think it is more than one person. And I think perhaps the entire department should have been overhauled. So that's my one concern, just that you're keeping somebody from the previous regime, which obviously was unsuccessful. But Tanner Glass now with more responsibility, who's to say that he doesn't come in there and really change up a lot of things and lead the young players, for the Rangers in a better direction than they were being led previous.
I mean, well, yeah, player development in general, I feel like that, like you said, we kind of share the same sentiment here. They probably should have overhauled the entire department, but
Mhm.
that has not been the only issue. I mean, scouting has been pretty damn bad as well. I mean, I think those two have gone hand in hand over the years, but it's we gotta we gotta see something with this. Because how long of a leash is he going to have now, Tanner Glass, in this role?
It's a good question. I guess only time will tell. Um, I think this is a pivotal year for the Rangers organization as a whole. I mean, in just what, 4 hours, 3 hours, and 12 minutes, their
At the
organization
at the time of recording?
at the time of recording, 3:48 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, May 5th, right now. Um, their entire outlook on player development could change. You bring in Gavin McKenna, and then suddenly a prospect pool that didn't look too good is now completely transformed by generational talent. So
Hopefully.
a lot of pieces in the air. And again, even if it's not McKenna, Rangers can fall no lower than five during the draft lottery tonight. So, most of the high-end prospects behind McKenna are defensemen. So, there's a good chance that you're able to bring in an impactful defenseman or, a generational talent not seen since the likes of, Connor Bedard and, Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews, like that echelon of talent. So,
Don't disrespect McDavid there.
well, McDavid's on the level of his own.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So is McKinnon. It's McDavid,
Oh yeah.
McKinnon, everybody else. For me,
McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov in the regular season, other people.
can't
I-
argue with that.
yeah, that's we don't need to go too far into that because everybody saw. But
I'm hoping for good things with Tanner Glass overall. I'm
I,
cautiously optimistic.
yeah, that's all we have right now is hope because
Mhm.
I was watching the New York Jets last season. Hope is slowly killing me.
Yeah. The only team in New York that's really doing me any good right now is my Knicks. Big game one win last night. We love to see it.
I saw the final score, did not see any of the game, but I'm happy for my Knick fan friends because I mean Knicks are not my team, but it's cool to finally see them be good for once in my life.
It should give you hope for the Jets that one day.
One day, hopefully soon, not banking on it, but they had a good draft, so let's see. But you're right, excuse me. We can fall no lower than fifth with the Rangers here in the draft lottery. I mean, personally, we do need a high-end forward prospect, and we also need a high-end defensive prospect, which remember when we drafted EJ Emery going into that draft, and I was just like, you know what this organization and this team needs? A high-end defensive prospect. They drafted
Yeah.
defensive prospect in the first round. A couple years later, fast forward to now, not looking too great.
Yeah. Well, EJ Emery, didn't he play at the pretty sure he played at the University of North Dakota. Yeah, he did. 13 points, 38 games. We'll see. But yeah, just hoping for some players with high impact, and McKenna is that. So
Yeah, but we shall see. So, quick predictions. Who do you think's getting the first three picks? I may,
Hmm.
hold on. I want to just look up the standings real quick because I don't remember the exact order. But wow, NHL.com really, really is not
So
making
Vancouver
this
has
easy.
the best. Vancouver has the best chance at the first overall pick, followed by Chicago, then the Rangers.
Oh, there really? I can't just hit standings anywhere? Are you kidding me? There we go. There we go.
Shades, the number
And
one overall pick is going to
hold on. I got this ready to go. I hope so. I forgot how to do this. Wow, it really has been a while. Okay. There we go. Okay. No, what the okay. Okay. So, like you just said, Canucks are at the bottom with the best odds, finishing the season with 58 points. Dear God. Followed by the Blackhawks at 72 points, then followed in order, respective order of Rangers and the Flames at both at 77, Maple Leafs rounding out the top five with 78 points. I am going to predict, you're going to hate me for this. I'm going to predict that the Vancouver Canucks finally have draft lottery luck. And not only do they not fall outside of the top three, I have them predicting them getting the first overall pick.
Shades.
It's been a weird year, man.
The team
Weird
that's walking
season.
away with the number one overall pick and Gavin McKenna, the Toronto Maple Leafs with 8.5%. That's my prediction. I think the Rangers go to three. I think Vancouver goes to two. I think Chicago slides down to four. Calgary five. That's my prediction. I think McKenna's going to Toronto.
Okay, so you got Toronto, then who again?
Toronto, Canucks, Rangers, Blackhawks, and Calgary.
All right. With the number two overall pick, I'm gonna call a little bit of a surprise here. I will go with the Seattle Kraken to get the
Hmm.
second overall pick. We have seen some very, very weird things with the draft lottery over the last couple of years. We've seen the Flyers move up 10, 11 spots to get the number two overall pick. We've seen the Rangers move up like 10, 11 spots to get the number one overall pick. Who am I going to guess third? I'll give you a hint. It's not a team in between the Winnipeg Jets and the New York Islanders. Would you care to take a guess out of the remaining teams there? Who you think I have going number three?
Calgary.
Calgary.
Yep.
Good guess. With the
Mm.
Rangers at four, excuse me, Blackhawks at four, and the Rangers at five, with Toronto falling uno spot to six.
Hmm. Well, Toronto fans are either going to be really happy or really mad if either one of our predictions is correct. So,
Could you imagine if, for some reason, well, the Leafs already hired John Chayka, so that joke writes itself. Could you imagine if that happens? Three teams jump the Maple Leafs. So basically, three teams would be jumping everybody below them. The Leafs end up with the eighth overall pick and what would round out the perfect trifecta for the most legendary troll job the Twitter app will probably ever see. If those two things happen and Mitch Marner wins the cup with Vegas this year. Can you imagine the troll job? The word legendary probably does not do that justice. You're muted. Once
Happens
every
all.
episode.
I was going to say, you know what I love looking at this list? Yes, there could be a lot of pain for Maple Leafs fans. And believe it or not, Maple Leafs fans, I do not enjoy seeing you guys in pain. Because as a Ranger fan in this season, I was in quite a bit of pain.
Okay, I don't need to share this anymore.
I really love seeing that the Devils and the Islanders have a combined 4.5% chance at the number one overall pick because, that would just be awful. Imagine McKenna and Schaefer together. I would just never watch hockey again. I
I
couldn't be
would
around.
that would hurt.
That would sting.
Like that would cause me probably physical pain.
And if the Devils got him,
Him and Jack Hughes just kill me now.
yeah. But Capitals, half a percentage chance.
Hey, I said we've seen crazy shit happen, which
I watched the Dallas Mavericks get the rights to Cooper Flag. I will see anything happen in a draft lottery for real. Um, Chicago I think would be interesting, but you look at Chicago, established number one center. They already have one. Canucks, same thing with Elias Pettersson.
okay, you know
You
how you just brought up the Capitals percentage?
know,
Let's take a look at this. Stop. Why does that keep coming up? Anyway, so here is the percentage is of every team to pick where they can possibly pick. So as you can see, Washington and Detroit, as well as the Blue Jackets, the Islanders, and the Devils, cannot. Those were the teams us who finished 16 through 12 in terms of draft lottery odds, respectively. None of those five teams can grab the number one overall pick due to the change that I'm pretty sure you brought up a minute ago in the draft lottery odds. So
oh, Florida, 6% is just too big for me. That would suck.
that would, because that would immediately make them cup favorites again next year. And I didn't realize that the Leafs could not pick eighth, so I guess I'll have them picking seventh. All right, well, I screwed that up, but I'll take it. And then, like you said, imagine Washington gets one of them, 1.1% chance, and picks sixth.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the Capitals are that far away from being back in the playoffs. I they got a good thing going there. But story for another day. Okay, I mean, basically, I don't know anything about any of the other prospects besides McKenna, but who do you think is going to be rounding out the top 3 to 4 to 5 names?
It's a good question. I mean, for me, I think McKenna will be the first overall pick. I think that's pretty easy. Number one center, very seldom have franchise number one centers missed in the NHL draft. I really can't remember the last one. Maybe Shane Wright. But
Mm.
I think, his outlook is to be determined. Still a good prospect, just taking him a little bit of time. For me, number two, I think it's going to be Keaton Vierhoff, Canadian defenseman. He's going to be in the top four. He's big. He's logging major minutes in college hockey right now. So I think he's going to go number two. I know his stock has fallen a little bit. Ivar Stenberg as well, in Frölunda, Swedish center. You know, I believe there was another centerman from Sweden, Anton Frundell, that went last year.
Mm.
Similar profile. Swedish type player, like two-way, but he can score though, a little bit more of a winger than he is a center. So like think of a William Nylander type player. Um, and then it really comes down to the defense shades. And for me, I think if the Rangers fall 3 or 4, Chase Reed for me is the guy that I would look at. Playing in the OHL right now, American defenseman. I think he has the potential to have some good chemistry with Adam Fox. This is an elite puck mover. Playing with the Sioux Greyhounds, 48 points in 45 games this year. And put up 6 points in the playoffs, 3 goals, 3 assists. He's already 6'3" at 18 years old. And then after that, again, it's really defensemen. Carson Carrolls, Daxon Rudolph, Caleb Malholtra, is one that Brendan threw around a little bit,
Mm.
to bring in his son. He's seen to be a pretty smart two-way center. So if the Rangers fall maybe to five, maybe they could take a look at a player like Malholtra. But for me, if they get one, they're going McKenna without a doubt.
Yep.
2 through 4, defensemen, Veerhoff, Reed, Rudolph, whatever. And then if you fall to five, that's when maybe I'd look at some of the other forwards. And Malholtra, yeah, he's not your game-changing center like McKenna is, but if you can add to that depth and bring in a guy who can slot into your top six and be impactful at a young age, I do it.
I just hope the Rangers get, whoever they pick, I just hope the kid pans out
Hmm.
because, like we said a couple minutes ago, has not been pretty in terms of drafting and development over the last, as you put it, 4, 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Malholtra's a prospect I like. I'd be pretty confident. 17 years old, dominated the OHL this year in Brantford. So I think, and this is a deep draft too. So Drury's ability to miss is small, but it's also Drury.
it's
So,
also Drury. Yeah,
and we love you, Chris. We want it to work out. Just has not worked out.
just be
But
better. That's all I ask.
if you get the first overall pick, the decision's going to be pretty easy for whoever gets that pick, whether it's, the Canucks like Shades predicts or the Maple Leafs like I have the number one overall pick going to.
That'd be a pretty nice consolation prize for the Leafs. Oh yeah, Marner wins a cup. Yeah, here's Gavin McKenna. We feel bad.
Then suddenly the Leafs outlook is excellent, you know.
I mean, they would still need to address their defense for like the 12th year in a row, but I digress.
Yeah. I got a good thing going with Wool in the net. And Matthews, you just got to keep him happy. And a generational player will keep another generational player happy, typically. So,
For a little bit at least.
but I'll tell you what, best player in the NHL is Matthew Schaefer. Outside of Connor McDavid, what this kid is doing at 18 years old,
Incredible.
it's not going to be fun. He is he is
If
the best draft pick since Connor McDavid.
as of right now, yeah, because it took Bedard and Celebrini a year or two to get going, but
Celebrini is unreal,
yeah, yeah,
But
Celebrini I think has the higher ceiling than Bedard.
yeah, I think Bedard just right now it's his size and relative inexperience. I thought Bedard was going to have a nice year this year. I think I pegged him and Kaprizov to have career seasons. Kaprizov doing pretty well for himself over there.
Yeah, especially $17 million a year. He better be doing well for himself.
Yeah, Bedard 75 points in 69 games. Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. I said that we were River Dragons were in the playoffs and I don't know, just getting into my flow state of play by play and I was like, a big save made. 69 seconds left to go. Nice. Goodbye. Oh, I gotta clip that, put that on the old reel.
Actually, I forgot to send this video to you when I saw it. I found a clip, I think, on maybe Instagram, and it was like a commentary team for, I forgot which team, but one guy is going like through comments on like a previous post and is taken like one by one. So yeah, see if you could put this into your commentary. He got like 10 of them, and I'm just like, that was fucking awesome. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did not. No, I gotta send that to me once you get off and I'll take a
I
look.
cheat. I don't even. I gotta go and find it because I don't. I knew I should have sent it to you like in the moment, and I didn't for some reason.
It's all
But
good. You just overlooked me, Shades. I'm just kidding.
I, knowing me, that was probably when I was just like in bed doom scrolling. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm just like, okay, that was funny. That
Send.
yeah. Oh well, that was a missed opportunity. But you would have loved that. And of course, I don't send it to you because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so if I can find it, I'll definitely send it to you.
Perfect.
I just gotta, I don't even remember which app I was on. I don't remember whether it was YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Reels. I gotta go searching for this crap now. All right, well, now I know what I'm doing with my next like 20 minutes after we're done here.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. But to end this episode, I would just like to dedicate this particular episode. Let me just look up the episode number real quick. Like I said, I'm extremely rusty. It's been a while. But episode number 81. Can't think of any player who wears 81 off the top of my head, but would like to dedicate this to Liam's dog, Mitchell, who 14 years old, no longer with us, unfortunately, but want to say a few words, Liam?
Yeah, I mean, I think pets, no matter, who it pertains to, have a profound impact on our lives. And mine was no different, you know. Mitchell came in with her sister. We took her in from a family that was going through a divorce, and they wanted to give her a happy home. And for 8 years, we gave her the happiest of homes. So, Mitchell, I love you. Shades, thank you for dedicating this episode to her. And she loved to howl, so
Hmm.
she's howling doggy heaven.
Howling like a coyote?
And we're talking about John Chayka this episode, though, so that's pretty right on.
That
Um,
that was completely accidental. I that was not planned.
no, I think that's funny, but no, she would howl like a coyote, and it would take her a little bit, but she would always belt it out, and special dog. And before I do let everyone go, I'll show you a picture of Mitchell because her legacy will live on. Come on, camera, don't do that to me now. But that was Mitchell. Hold on, I'll unblur my camera here if you guys can bear with me just a moment. But that's Mitchell.
Uh,
She would always do her little that's her and her sister hanging out by the door. And there she is stretching out. She'd always stretch in the craziest of ways. And she's a fun-loving pup, and I'll miss her and I love her so much, but you gotta say goodbye at some point. And she's not in pain anymore, and that's what matters most. But again, Shades, thank you for saying that, and I appreciate it, my friend.
yeah, you got it, Liam. I mean, I've never had a dog personally, but have had friends who've lost dogs, have cousins who've lost dogs. It's not
Yeah.
fun, even as an extended like party. It's not fun.
Yeah, I wasn't there. That's the part that kind of
Mm.
kind of gets me, but she was amazing. That's all right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
Hey, 14
I,
years though, man.
I got a franchise mode to go win a Stanley Cup with after this episode.
Oh dear
So
God.
we're gonna win it. We're gonna dedicate it to her. And unbelievably, the team is the Vancouver Canucks, who we also talked about during this episode. So hey, if the Canucks win the draft lottery tonight, it'll be a good night. It'll just be a better night if the Rangers win
Yeah, I mean that would put us both in a good mood. Yep.
it. Yeah. So let's go Canucks. Let's go Rangers, but let's go Rangers a little bit more. And I love you, Mitchell.
Couldn't have said it any better. Please like and subscribe. This video, again, we still haven't made up our minds what we're gonna do about the draft lottery aftermath, but we'll figure it out. In the meantime, like,
It will just
subscribe,
pop,
please
yeah.
share. What was
It
that?
will just pop up together and we'll just do like a 2 minute little thing. Hey, Maple Leafs won.
It works for me. I mean,
You know,
I'm already like I'm home at 4:11 on a Tuesday, so I'm
makes
not
two.
going anywhere.
Yeah. So, hopefully it's a happy recap, but it can't be any worse than it was last year when the uh the kids from the island took it.
Yeah, we don't
And
want
they
that again.
they took the best defenseman to come through our league in the last 30 years. Yes, I may be over exaggerating, but that's how good Matthew Schaefer is.
Yeah, the kid is unfortunately on the Islanders, but oh well.
Oh
Yeah.
well, that's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm probably just going to edit something in at the end. But in the meantime, hope you all enjoyed a drink of choice. I finally finished my cold brew, second coffee today. Hey, there's your drink.
Ice water.
Always refreshing, always hits the spot, never a bad option,
Yeah, no doubt.
and it's free.
And it's free. And
Dude,
it's
but just before we go, dude, they rose the price on these freaking cold brews. You used to be able to get them for like $4. They're like 5.60 now. It's like Jesus Christ for a medium.
well, it's 560 now because you decided to get all the extra toppings, which are now 50 cents each at your new location.
No, that was the regular coffee from the
Oh,
from the meal
that was the
deal.
regular.
Yeah,
Okay.
from the meal deal. That, that everything's expensive, bro. Being an adult sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I miss it when I was a kid, you know. It was a lot more fun back then.
Yeah, it was, and that
I
was
mean, we
without
like
the coffee.
that was without the coffee. Hey, we got playoff hockey tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I believe we got a who's going tonight? Did another Anaheim out of the West?
Uh, yeah, that's a
Anaheim and
good
Vegas.
question.
Anaheim
I
and
love how
Vegas.
I haven't even officially ended this episode yet, but we got the Wild and the Avalanche
Oh my gosh. Well,
round two.
hope you take the over in that game.
And watch you say that now, it's going to be like a 1-0 game.
100%. I mean, the Avalanche, by the way, I do want to note, going through our predictions, they have not lost a game this postseason. So, the fact that I did take the Wild to come back is kind of wild.
Hey, they've
Uh,
won 5 in a row. Carolina's won 6 in a row to start. So,
Carolina, Colorado Cup final would just be special. Shades, I have a question for you and for everybody watching, since the episode hasn't ended yet. Put it in the answer in the chat, but I want to know your thoughts. I'm going back to Raleigh, North Carolina with my family. If the Canes go to the Cup, do I go to a Cup final game?
I mean, I think you have to at that point.
It would probably be around $400 to get into the nosebleeds, maybe a little bit more. But
It's a Stanley Cup final game.
man, I need to see Carolina and Colorado. That would just be epic. What a
Now,
final.
Colorado would have home ice in that scenario, right?
Would they? Because
Uh,
Carolina in Metro.
well, no, because I think when it comes to East West in the final, whoever finished higher with in the overall standings.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least.
So
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
like,
I would not rush to buy a game 3 or 4 ticket because the first two games could go by and you're just like, ooh, okay.
I don't really have a rooting interest though. I just want to see some good hockey. You
True.
know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, I'm watching I mean, do I want the Hurricanes to win? Should be the Rangers, but it should be the Rangers every year. What a disappointment this year was. I'm talking to you, Ranger fans. Unreal. And then
Yeah.
I got excited for baseball season. You know who my baseball team is? The
You're a Mets fan. God bless.
And football season comes around.
We're Jets
No.
fans. Why do we torture ourselves?
Basketball has me right. The Knicks and St. John's Red Storm. Uh,
Oh,
or-
and what would you know? Look who went out of focus.
Camera went out of focus. Yep. I muted myself. Your camera went out of focus. I'll tell you what, this episode just had a little bit of everything, didn't
Ju-
it?
Just had a typical Pucks and Brews, one mess up on each side,
Yes.
or one technical difficulty on each side. So
We got pretty cool clothes on. I mean, I got a purple shirt on. You got what? Some puzzle pieces? Yeah, there you go. Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. That's cool. Tell all the fans about that.
Cradle of Aviation Museum, usually second week end of August, few minutes away from Nassau Coliseum. It's a fun time. I have spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars over the last couple years that I went. It's a good time. And they have a whole bunch of free play systems and old school arcade machines, it is a good time. It's a good day. Highly recommend, especially if you're into video games, even in the slightest.
I'll take note.
Oh, they have it all. They go all the way back to like the Ataris and Super Famicoms and all that. They go all the way back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm hoping I can go again this year because I have one free day out of the 3 days that it's going on. I'm hoping to be there.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
yeah,
if you're there, let us know. Maybe we'll do an episode live from the museum.
that'd be pretty funny. Just like,
That would be pretty.
so what are your thoughts on the Rangers? Dude, I just found this game that worth $50 for like $1. That has
Screw the
not
Rangers.
happened, by the way. Not happened. But
Yet. Yet.
one day, hopefully.
All right,
I
Shades.
mean, I have found, like $20 games for like $5 in the thrift store. That happened like once or twice. That was nice. But still waiting on that oh yeah, this is actually worth like $300 and you got it for like $3. Still waiting on that. But anyway, yeah, thanks. I should probably end this by now. Thank you everyone for listening. Pucks and Brews. Michael Shades Farasino here alongside Liam Go Time Godimer, formerly known as Liam the Chellmaster Godimer. You're still Liam the Chellmaster Godimer to me, damn it. And yeah, we'll be back hopefully at the end of this round. My schedule next week is a little iffy, so we shall see. But yeah, enjoy some playoff hockey, everybody. Gonna just end it on that. All right, we're doing a as live of a reaction as we can. Please start the machine. And the machine has started. I don't know why I'm holding my remote like a mic, but here we are. Please start the clock. Oh boy. So 15 seconds. Okay, so 15 seconds between each ball. Okay.
I'm liking this process this year.
Yeah, I kind of like that, it's not being held behind closed doors with, you know, the possibility for bullshit. Lucky number 7 to start.
Yeah, mine came across just a second ago. Yeah, 7. Rangers percentage goes up a little bit. I think everybody's percentage went up.
I like that. Everyone's percentage just changed. I like that. That is pretty cool. I would love to know what goes into how they do this. Like the live odds switch. All right.
Got number 2. Sorry, was I ahead of you?
Number 2. All right, Rangers odds just went up.
Seattle is up to 18% live.
Holy
Get the
crap.
number 1 overall pick. That was your prediction, wasn't it?
Second.
Second, you did.
Yeah, I think I had Vancouver, Seattle, and Calgary. All right, let's see what happens.
Staying quiet since it seems I'm a half second ahead here.
As long as we're within like a second of each other, I'm okay with that. This is about as good as we're going to get. Number 11.
Rangers still in it, and Seattle's percentage has gone down. The Rangers have the second best chance at the pick.
Holy crap.
Behind Vancouver.
I think I just freaking had to fast forward like a second or two.
Don't do that to me, Shades. Come on now.
It sounded like you were ahead of me. So, okay.
Seems like they're going to cut to a commercial here.
They better fucking not.
I would prefer that. Slow us down here for a second.
And here's the numbers they're rooting for. Vancouver has 3 numbers to root for. 1.
If it's a 9 or a 14, the Rangers have Gavin McKenna. Oh boy. Imagine it's San Jose.
If Vancouver is Gordon up there? There he is. I mean, Drury.
We'll find out who gets the first.
Oh, baby.
How the hell are you ahead of me?
So you're saying that the next ball that comes out, that's the number we're looking for? Or no?
We need a 9 or a 14. All right. So this is as good of a live reaction as we are going to get here. NHL Draft Lottery, the first 3 ping pong balls have been drawn. They just showed on the screen before commercial. Lo and behold, the Rangers need a 9 or a 14. And we have the first overall pick. Vancouver
What about
has
you,
3
Chase?
numbers. Every other team remaining has 1 number.
9 and
Come on.
14, two
9
great
or
numbers.
14.
I'll tell you.
And if it's 1, 5, or 13, my prediction was right. Come on.
Mitchell passed away today at 14 years old. Give me a 14.
That would be something special.
To the numbers. They want
10 seconds. Come on, baby.
Well, at least we're perfectly matched up with each other time-wise. So hoping.
Ah, the Leafs! The Leafs!
Number 12.
Oh boy.
I predicted it, didn't I?
Wow.
I predicted earlier today.
Wow.
Predicted it at 2 o'clock.
Who would have thought that hiring John Chayka would get the Leafs the first overall pick? Oh my goodness.
Commissioner Bill Daly.
You got to feel for Vancouver. I mean, seriously.
First draw in the 2026 draft lottery. And as a result of winning the draw, they have the number 1
Oh my goodness.
in the 2026 draft.
Holy shnikey, Sam Constantino.
I mean, I hope I don't get like sound copy. We even got a text from Brendan already to the Leafs. Oh my goodness.
Schaefer. Matt,
I love how they don't put Chayka up there.
term that you brought with tonight.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear the first part.
I love how he didn't even hear the question.
You brought with you to the draw tonight.
Oh my God, the Leafs.
But I'm extremely happy for Toronto Maple Leaf fan base.
My goodness.
It's great to get the first pick.
I can only imagine how nuts Steve Dangle is going right now.
Job was announced in 16.
Matthews is going to have McKenna. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine if Vancouver falls out of the top 2 right now? So, the Leafs, the Maple Leafs, did in fact get the first pick, and we're just about to start the machine, and it started for the second drawing. Second and final drawing. Vancouver, yet again, has the highest odds. All right, here we go.
15 seconds. So again, you see the red line. All those teams above it can get to number 2.
And just in case nobody heard that, the Islanders, Blue Jackets, Blues, and Capitals have the ability to move up to number 2 still. There's an 11 again. Vancouver. Okay. Vancouver's chances are up. Washington is done. They are officially not a top 2 pick.
And the Leafs, I will say, their first round pick was protected, belonged to the Bruins this year. So pretty crazy that you don't lose your pick, and due to the protection, you get the overall.
Hey, I would gladly give away second number 4 Quattro. And that eliminated the Panthers and the Blues from contention, and Vancouver's percentage went up yet again, but so did the Blackhawks.
Look at Vancouver up to 21.2%. Thomas, start the clock.
Oh boy. All right. Come on.
Position 19.7. Again, Toronto, if they win this thing again, we'll have to have a redraw.
Okay, they just mentioned if Toronto wins it again, there will be a redraw. 3.
All right, so the Rangers now and the Canucks. Wow.
Oh boy.
The Leafs are about to 10.
I mean, it's not the first overall pick, but to be able to move up 1 spot.
Would be nice.
Yes. Absolutely.
So easy to fall out.
Actually, well, technically, wouldn't it be 2 spots, or were the Leafs 5th? to begin with?
They were fifth.
Okay, so we would okay, so we'd move up a spot. Okay, come on. 1 or 13. I do not like those numbers. 1 or 13. There is still the ability for a redraw if a 2, 10, or 12 comes up. That'd be pretty wild. Okay, so this is insane. San Jose also has the same odds right now. And
Wow, the Sharks.
wow, no, 2. Oh, 7. Wow. That looked like a 2 at first. The San Jose Sharks are picking number 2. All right. All right. I love how they just had to tell Mike Greer to smile because he just had the stone face.
Won the second draw of the 2026 draft.
All right, they're just confirming it right now.
Vancouver does not get pick number 1 or 2, so they get third, and the Rangers fall
Wow.
fourth.
All right, so they Rangers are dropping to fifth because technically, all right, yeah, they dropped to fifth. Okay, you know what? Like we said earlier during the regular recording of the pod, I better put this on mute or something. Like we said, having a top 5 pick in this draft is still massive. I mean, not getting a top 2 or 3 pick it hurts, but hey, a top 5 pick is nothing to scoff at.
It's a deep draft. That's what we've been saying all along. And, I mentioned outside of number 1 and number 6 to 7, it's mostly defensemen, where you'd want to pick. So maybe Veerhoff falls down to 5. Maybe Chase Reed, who I mentioned, name dropped earlier on the podcast. Maybe he is available for the Rangers, but obviously franchise altering day for the Maple Leafs again. Um, yeah, Sharks, they had a good year and they got rewarded for having a good year. The Sharks, it's easy to forget, looking at their end of season record. The Sharks were in playoff contention for a little while there. Celebrini was really carrying them, and Askarov was playing well in between the pipes and well coached under Warsawski, who had ECHL experience with the Stingrays. So they're an up and coming team. Like you said, Rangers fall to 5, Chicago picks 4, and Vancouver falls from 1 to 3. So definitely a stunner on draft lottery day, but very seldom, do the teams with the highest percentages to pick number 1 overall. Very seldom do they actually get the number 1 spot. And that's what makes anti-tanking, effective in the NHL. So congratulations to the Maple Leafs and the Rangers. Hopefully they find a diamond in the rough because over the last several years, right? You look at the team that has picked number 5 overall, they haven't exactly been, bad picks. So I think there's potential to find somebody that can make an immediate impact for the team.
I don't know about immediate, but a +1 draft year immediate impact, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think more making an impact when the Rangers are ready to make an impact. Like I think
Yeah.
next year is still going to be a rebuilding year. They're going to be very young. They're going to still try and figure out what type of team they are, what their identity is. But I think, come the year after that, or maybe even 2 years down the line, whoever that draft pick is, I think is going to, again, be incredibly impactful. So I'm hopeful. I'm going to look at mock drafts now and see what a lot of the experts per se had picking or had selecting at the number 5 spot, since that's the Rangers right now. And for the Maple Leafs, this is easy. Gavin McKenna to go alongside Austin Matthews. They're going to be right back into playoff contention. And who knows, maybe that influx of youth from Mr. McKenna is going to be exactly what Toronto needs to get over the hump in the playoffs. So.
Well, that and they still need to bolster their defense core. You know, that's just a common problem with them over the last 10 years, like we said earlier.
Indeed. But now they have John Chayka and Gavin McKenna in a few months. So
Yeah,
how does
and
that help the defense? It really doesn't. But we'll see.
no. Anyway, that was our reactions to the draft lottery. Hope you enjoyed that. This episode will be out tomorrow morning. Thank you for listening/watching to Pucks and Brews, and we will see you later.